This could be a position to try and do a very light floss or tug at your sciatic nerve. This is really good for someone who feels good in sitting, feels good bending forward, to lightly pull. So what I've had patients do is they sit at the edge of a seat and they tend to be pretty comfortable in this resting forward position with their elbows resting on the top of their thighs. If your back is uncomfortable at all in a flexed position, you can also do this, but instead of being rounded, you may want to try and have your back a little bit more erect, or maybe I'd have my hands up on something a little higher up here. So now my back is a little bit more straight instead of rounded forward. So either one of these positions are good ones. You know, this is obviously a little easier to do because you don't have to find anything, but if this bothers your back, you can put it up on something a little higher. So the idea here is that this is for someone who, when they straighten their leg, they feel a lot of tightness in the back of their leg, maybe numbness, maybe tingling. So I'll start off having them rest here, and all they're going to do is just lightly lift their toes. So in doing this, this is very lightly going to engage the muscles on the front of my shin, and maybe tug a little bit at the back of my calf and my Achilles tendon. Now if this feels fine, I'll try and take my feet out a little further. So the more extended or straight my knee goes, the more tension on my sciatic nerve and my hamstring. So same thing here. I'm going to go into that raise of the toes. Now I may get to a point as I continue to straighten my legs further, right, that I might say, ooh, that's starting to be uncomfortable. Maybe that's starting to create numbness and tingling or burning into my foot. So if I find a threshold and I say maybe that happens here, I'm going to go just shy of that threshold to where I pretty much feel nothing. And that's the position that I'm very lightly going to be tugging at my calf and tugging a little bit at the structures around that sciatic nerve without pulling so hard that I'm provoking that feeling into my foot. So the goal here, this should be a very light activity that you can do often throughout the day to very lightly mobilize some of the structures that that sciatic nerve moves through without putting so much tension on them that it just makes my feet numb. So like I said, you always want to stay well short of feeling stuff down the leg unless it just feels like a little bit of a stretch. And if this is uncomfortable, you may want to try having something up higher. Like I said, this chair worked, a computer chair, putting something on top of a table or in front of like a kitchen or dining room counter so that as I'm doing this, now my back is a little bit more erect.